business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. Concerns you. You dey kill alone, you dey kill dreams. You dey land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Hello, doctor. Can I get the tramadol for the road? Body they pay me
Let's make I check your body, then I will tell you what you need.
Hello, doctor. I know it's the way to. I know it's the way to.
Wait to make I check your body, then I go tell you what you need.
Hello, doctor. No need to check me. I know say now waiting my body need. Is it your body? I don't be wait. I don't be wait. Hello, doctor. You see I am coughing. I need codeine or I go enter coughing.
Wait to make I check your body.
I don't be to wait. Give me cannabis, or sensibilia, please. I need to end this feeling.
Wait to make I check your body, then I will tell you what you need.
Hello, doctor, waiting I do myself. I've been known to say, but I didn't want somebody.
Wait to make I check your body, then I will tell you what you need.
Doctor, help me check my body. I need your help before it's too late. Hi. Gutter, what a handle you go just die throw away. But the handle you go just die throw away. Ecstasy handle you go just die throw away. But the handle you go just die throw away. Drama handle you go just die throw away. But the handle you go just die throw away. When cocaine handle you, and codeine handle you, when it handle you go just die throw away. When Black Mamba handle you, and Ref don't show you shade it. When he handle you go just die throw away. Now no drama, no wait until them handle you. When they handle you go just die throw away. Paradise, Mr. Metal, when them handle you go just die throw away.
Yeah, a very good afternoon to all of you, all over where you're joining us from, whether across Nigeria, the rest of... Okay, very good. Thank you. Our engineer is there for moderating the sound system. All right, okay, like I was saying, we'd like to welcome everyone joining us on this conversation today, wherever you're joining us from. A very good afternoon to you. If you are in Nigeria or in other parts of Africa, and if you are listening to us from other parts of the world, be you in Europe, America, Asia, Middle East, we appreciate you're finding the time to be a part of this conversation today. This is NDLE's Open Forum on X Space, and I'm your host, Femi Babafemi. We're live from the national headquarters of the Nigeria's Anti-Narcotic Agency, NDLEA, located in the nation's federal capital territory, Abuja here. We'd like to inform everyone that this is a platform where we share information, knowledge, and raise awareness about substance abuse and its devastating impact on human lives, public health, and our environment. We'd also like to let us know that this platform serves as a channel of providing help to those struggling with substance abuse, that's those who really need help. And it's equally a means for us to update you about what we're doing, the activities of the agency, whether in the area of drug supply reduction or in the area of drug demand reduction. It's equally a means to get your feedback. We'll always appreciate your feedback so that we can continue to do what we know how to do to serve the society and humanity better. We'd also like to let us know that indeed this conversation is recorded, that is and it's also being streamed on our other social media handles. That is at NDLE01 on Facebook and at NDLE_Nigeria on YouTube. You can always go back to any of these handles and take a listen to the recording, or even you can also share with others. Now we already have a guest in the house. I guess it's we'll have quite a long on the space already. We'll be acknowledging them as we go on, but then let's quickly go ahead with the business first, and then before we come back to acknowledging some of our people already on the space. Like I said before, we bring in our guest to make his presentation today. Let's remind us of some of the activities of the agency this past week, and that will come in our news highlight segment, which will be taken by our regular Blessing Tafa. Blessing, let's listen to what you have for us. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Good day to everyone, and thank you for joining us on this week's X Space. My name is Blessing Tafa, and here are the NDLEA news highlights for the week. Insurgents drug supplier arrested as NDLEA intercepts 7.6 tons of illicit drugs in Borno, Nasarawa. Pregnant lady, mother of three other women among 24 suspects nabbed in Anambra, FCT, Kano, Ondo, Edo, Lagos raids. A total of 24 suspected drug traffickers and dealers, including a 42-year-old man taking thousands of concealed opioid pills to insurgents enclave in Banki area of Borno State, a 6-month pregnant lady, a mother of 3 children, and 3 other women have been arrested in major interdiction operations by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, leading to the seizure of over 7,609 kilograms of assaulted illicit drugs in 8 states. The bulk of the seizures was made in Nasarawa State, where NDLEA operatives acting on credible intelligence on Sunday, 4th February, intercepted a truck marked Lagos GJJ 64YC, conveying 367 jumbo bags of cannabis sativa weighing 4,037 kilograms from Akure, Ondo State, to be delivered at Shabu area of Lafia, the state capital. 3 suspects, Shaibu Yahaya Liman, 35, Monday Audu, 33, and Linus Samuel, 42, have been arrested in connection with the seizure. The following day, Monday, 5th February, operatives in Abuja FCT arrested the duo of Jibril Shaibu, 23, and Prosper Ini, 17, with 169 bags and 80 blocks of compressed cannabis sativa weighing 1,961.5 kilograms concealed in a truck with registration number Ogun WDE 557XC. The truck was intercepted during a stop and search operation along Abaji-Abuja Highway on their way from Uzeba to Dede FCT. In another operation by NDLEA operatives in Abuja on Tuesday, 6 February, a suspect, Abdulhamid Dauda, 27, was arrested with 89 kilograms of the same psychoactive substance loaded into his truck in Owo, Ondo State, to be delivered at Bagawada in the FCT. On the same day, operatives also intercepted another driver, Hassan Adi, 30, transporting 696.5 kilograms of the same substance loaded in Idwani, Ondo State, to be delivered at Bagawada and Dede in FCT. A follow-up operation led to the arrest of a mother of 3 children, Mrs. Joy Chukuka, 42, linked with the consignment. In Ondo State, apart from the seizure of 633.5 kilograms of cannabis at Eleyere Ogbese in Akure North Local Government Area, NDLEA operatives also recovered 59 jumbo bags of same substance loaded in a truck marked GAD 287XA heading to the northern part of the country. Detergents were sprayed on the cannabis bags ostensibly to suppress the odor of the psychoactive weed, while 192 packs of table water were loaded on top to conceal the illicit consignment. No less than 187 kilograms of same substance were seized by operatives at Sapele Road, Benin, Edo State, while in Kano, NDLEA officers on Monday, 5th February, arrested 58-year-old Bashir Attahir in Bachirawa area of the state with 216,000 pills of tramadol, 215 milligrams. Another suspect, Ejike Moses Inyemene, 47, was nabbed the following day, Tuesday, 6 February, with 25,190 capsules of tramadol and different quantities of rofinol and codeine syrup along Emia Road, Sabongari area of the city, while the duo of Yusuf Abdullahi Musa, 35, and Yusuf Musa, 28, were nabbed at Gadar Tamburawa with 1,000 ampoules of tramadol injection on Thursday, 8 February. In Borno State, a 42-year-old suspected supplier of illicit drugs to insurgents in Banki, a border region between Nigeria and Cameroon, Ahmad Mohammed, was arrested by NDLEA operatives on Friday, 9 February at Bama checkpoint. When his luggage was searched, 20,000 capsules of tramadol were recovered from him while on his way to deliver the opioid consignment in the border town. A 6-month pregnant woman, Amarachi Akol Lisa, 25, and another lady, Ifeoma Iheanyi, 21, were among 6 suspects arrested for dealing in illicit substances in Oraifite at Omuniegiri, Aguleri, Anambra State. Others nabbed include Okuchuku Chukuka, Onyedika Ungu, Ekene Hygienus, and Nzomiru Ikechukwu. Recovered from them were over 6 kilograms of cannabis, tramadol, diazepam, and codeine syrup in raids conducted by NDLEA operatives between Tuesday 6 and Thursday 8 February in parts of the state. In Lagos, 2 ladies, Boluwatife Adebayo and Omolade Fola Adebayo, were among suspects arrested during raids in part of the state on Saturday, 10 February. While Oga Sunday Adole and Boluwatife Adebayo were arrested at Agidingbi Ikeja in connection with 220 grams of cannabis, 10.6 liters of codeine syrup, and other psychoactive substances. Omolade Fola Adebayo was nabbed at Ijesha with various quantities of cannabis, codeine syrup, rofinol, and molly. While commending the efforts of the Nasarawa, FCT, Ondo, Kano, Borno, Edo, Anambra, and Lagos commands of the agency for jobs well done in the past week, Chairman Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Bubamara, retired, urged them and their compatriots across the country to always strive to surpass past feats in their drug supply and drug demand reduction efforts. That's it on arrests and seizures. Now here are the wider activities across the country for the week. The NDLEA adopts a whole-of-society approach to fighting the drug scourge with the War Against Drug Abuse WADA advocacy campaign as its main mechanism. Through WADA, individuals, communities, schools, youth, governments, and opinion leaders are enlightened on the steps they can employ in their own spheres of influence to help in achieving a drug-free society. On Tuesday, 6 February 2024, the Benue State Command of the agency paid a WADA advocacy visit to His Royal Majesty, the Ochidoma Agabaidu, Dr. Eliagu Odobo Ogbadeji John, at his palace in Otupo, while the Osun State Command also on the same day lectured students and staff of African Church Grammar School, Ilesha, on the dangers of drug abuse. The Kano State Command paid a WADA advocacy visit to the Emir of Rano, His Royal Highness Ambassador Mohammed Kabiru Inwa on Wednesday, 7 February. No less than 6 schools hosted commands across the nation for drug sensitization activities on Thursday, 8 February. The Gombe State Command, in collaboration with NDLE NYSC CDS groups, facilitated the Enlightenment Lecture for students of Standard Integrated School Barude. The Katsina State Command, also in conjunction with the NYSC WADA Club, lectured the students and staff of Government Day Senior Secondary School in Rimi Molumfashi. The Oyo State Command delivered the sensitization lectures to students of Oba Akinbiyi High School, Mokola, Ibadan. The Ogun State Command to students of Owode Senior Secondary School, Owode, Yewa. The Anambra State Command to the students of Federal Science and Technical College, Oka, and the Yobe State Command to an audience of 820 students of Lisad Secondary School. On Friday, 9 February, the Yobe State Command of NDLE also collaborated with the State NYSC Drug Free Club and sensitized students of Essence Secondary School, Damatru, on the importance of remaining drug-free. Taking no breaks from fighting the war on drugs, the Lagos State Command on Saturday, 10 February, delivered a WADA sensitization lecture to women and youths of RCCG Glory Tabernacle, Abaranje Road, Ikoyi. That's the update for this week. My name is Blessing, and I hand you over to our host, Mr. Femi Babafemi.
Thank you very much, dear Blessing, and welcome back from the news highlight segment. Now let's remind ourselves about some of the rules guiding our process of engagement on this program today. As usual, please, when we approve you to be on the speaker's table, please ensure that you remain muted. Please ensure that as soon as we approve you to be a speaker, please remain muted. The moment you mute yourself, you are going to be interrupting the flow of the conversation, and that is not good for the process. So we are most likely going to remove you from the speaker's corner and ensure you are properly placed in the listener's corner where you would not be able to interrupt the process. Please, to avoid this, let's be well guided and ensure that we remain muted until we are invited to speak. Okay, we also don't encourage unauthorized interruption, and here it's something that we all know from time that we also don't discuss politics here, so strictly about what the nation's efforts in the fight against substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking. That's our focus, how to empower our people, raise awareness, and provide people with the needed skills, with the needed knowledge, so that they can protect themselves and also, bring help to the doorsteps of those that really need this help when it comes to this scourge of substance abuse. So that's a bit we're doing here. So we would appreciate if we keep to this so that we can advance the cause of humanity better. All right, thanks for your usual cooperation, and as much as possible, in spite of all the rules, we would try to make our conversation here as interactive as possible today. So we'll take your questions, we would welcome your contributions on today's subjects of discussion. So please, let's stay calm and ensure that we enjoy what we're doing here. Okay, before I invite our guest speaker today, we have quite a number of our people already on the space, those in Port Harcourt, those joining us from Abuja here, those joining us from the Northeast, North Central, Northwest, Southeast, South, and then the Southwest, even outside of Nigeria, across other parts of the world, people from the US, those from Europe and Asia. We appreciate all of you. I will be calling your names to recognize you one after the other as soon as we have the space to do that. But then first, let's quickly remind us about the NDLE's call center. That is where we have quite some of our professionals, talking of counselors, talking of psychotherapists and psychologists, all of them, including psychiatric doctors, those who are in the field of mental health. They are all there, working 24/7 to take your calls And we have a dedicated helpline, which is toll-free. You don't need to pay a dime for dialing the number. All you need to do is pick your phone and call the number 0800-1020-3040. With the number again, all you need to do is dial our helpline, toll-free helpline, 0800-1020-3040, and you have experts on the other side to speak with you, to assist you, and to guide you. So please ensure that we take advantage of that, especially those who are homes, they don't know what to do, whether your loved one or you are the one, or your friend, your member of your family abuse. Please don't waste time until the situation gets worse before you seek help. We have a helpline for you to call and get help from our experts. You can also rest assured that indeed what drives a lot of people away from treatment centers, that is the fear of stigmatization from the society, or the fear of being judged. You can rest assured that that's far from it, when you are calling from the comfort of your homes, where really nobody actually knows who you are. So please feel free and take advantage of this support service provided by the NDLA and its technical partners. Again, we also like to assure us that this call line, this helpline, the call center is language friendly, that is language sensitive. If you cannot speak with them in English or Pidgin, please assure that our experts there can also talk with you in any of the three major Nigerian languages, talking of Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo. So we really do not have a reason or any reason or excuse why we should not seek help if indeed we need help. Please, let's feel free to take advantage of that and get the needed help. I think I saw that is I guess coming off and on. I think we have to liaise with it, I guess, because I have we've got about 2 I guess we have someone who would be able to substance use dependence. We have someone who has been doing this for over a decade, and a clinical psychologist, that is Dr. Bisji Jube Simon. He's been on this for more than a decade. I will believe he's very well positioned to guide us in our conversation today on this subject matter, and would also take contributions from a lot of experts already who are already on the space today. I will believe going to be sharing quite some knowledge and facts that will help our people, especially who need also this information to guide them, to help them, or to see them through their condition, especially again those that they also want to share this with others so that others can also benefit from it. Now, he's well seated already. Let me quickly formally introduce him again. He is Bisji Jube Simon. He's the lead clinical psychologist at Mindsphere Services in Abuja here. He is a certified member, Nigerian Psychological Association, that is NPA. He's also a member, Nigerian Association of Clinical Psychologists, NACP, as well as the Society for Personality and Social Psychology, SPSP. Wow. With over a decade, like I said, is someone that has been on this, not new, is someone that has been on this field for some years, with his over a decade experience in the management of a broad range of psychological conditions, including management of trauma-related disorders and other behavioral concerns. Bisji conducts clinical consultations and diagnostic assessments, and provides mental health and psychosocial support services to a wide range of clients, including crisis, natural disaster victims, domestic violence victims, and others. He's he's also the Assistant General Secretary of the Nigerian Psychological Association. He's a member Implementation Roadmap Design National Mental Health Act 2021 Committee that's was put together by the Federal Ministry of Health and World Health Organization. He's equally a member Suicide Prevention. He's a member Prevention Strategy Framework 2023 to 2030 Design Committee, also by Federal Ministry of Health and WHO. A member Research and Scholarship Committee, Nigerian Psychological Association, also a member Quarterly Knowledge Update Series Committee, Nigerian Association of Clinical Psychology. Indeed, we have more than 5 pages of his profile, so I just have to stop at this point because otherwise that's probably all we'll spend the 2 hours dedicated to this conversation reading. Thank you very much for providing such detailed and brilliant resume profile for us to read. Dr. Simon, we appreciate you. Now, please join me in welcome Dr. BG Simon as I invite him to put in forward discuss assessing the role of emotional intelligence in substance use dependence and treatment options for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Please go ahead, Dr. Simon, and let's listen to you. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Simon, can you hear me? Okay. It just slipped off. I guess his network is giving him some issues, so that's why even though he's on the speaker's corner, he's also okay. Let me see if he's the one trying to come on another handle or Just a moment, please. I think let's support his. Okay, Dr. Simon, if you can hear me, either you come back or you join us on another handle. Okay. Pending when he stabilizes, let's quickly recognize some of people on the space already. I'd like to appreciate John Ogunjimi. John Ogunjimi, thank you very much for joining us. And I've also seen Ibrahim Kuru. Ibrahim Kuru is the founder and chief advocate Youth Against Addiction Initiative. I believe he's based in the Northeast. Thank you very much, Ibrahim Kuru there. We'll also have Dr. Jonah Kono of the agency. Thank you very much. I also have, I've seen Madam, I have seen Madam Aboma. Madam Aboma is a pharmacist and she's been a guest on this page before she joins us from Port Harcourt. Thank you very much, Madam Aboma. I would also appreciate Iransha Eledumare. Thank you, Iransha Eledumare, for being part of the conversation today. We appreciate you. I've also seen someone, let me quickly check that. That is, beyond the recognition of our people outside of the country. I've also seen Antikemi. Antikemi is the proprietor of Lakembo Schools that is based in Kubwa Extension, Abuja here. I think I've been there. That's a big and excellent group of schools there. Thank you very much, Auntie Kemi, for being part of the conversation today. That's my handle. Okay, Black Mind, thank you for being part of the conversation today. Let me check if... all right, I'm just running through. Okay, Oji being part of the conversation today. um, quite a lot of requests. Then just me, because I wouldn't know which one is so this reason to join us. So that's what as you. Okay, that's Felicity Ijema. Okay, let me check. Okay. All right. Thank you. I think he's been able to come on another handle now. Okay. Dr. Simon, please, you can now unmute yourself and let's listen to you for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Thank you.
Oh, good afternoon to all of us. I'm so sorry. I had some technical issues trying to fix. I just tried to get another system to use. So I'm very sorry. First of all, appreciate the NDLEA for giving me the opportunity to speak on the role of emotional intelligence in substance use dependence and then the treatment options. Seriously, I don't take this for granted, and I hope at the end of our discussion, all of us will not go back the same. My name once again is Jumbe Simon, BSG. I'm the lead psychologist for Mindspire Services here in Abuja. I also work with the Nigerian Police Force headquarters as the clinical psychologist officer, and I do a bit of private practice in and around Abuja. So over the past 12 years, I've been working in different psychiatric settings or rehabilitation centers, and mostly I work around addiction. So I will boldly say that it's my own area of expertise based on my experience. The topic once again is the role of emotional intelligence in substance use dependence, and then we shall be talking about the treatment options at the end of it. Now, I have some outline that I'll be working with for the next few minutes. And first is the introduction, and then we shall be defining what drug is and what drug dependence is. We shall also be discussing what emotions are and what emotional intelligence is. And then we shall now talk about the treatment option. So right from the topic, I am picking each item one by one to help us have the understanding of what they mean, and then we connect it both, and then we proceed. Now, I would love us to first talk about the introduction. Now, from my introduction, barely 4 years ago, you and I can bear witness to the dreaded coronavirus, that's the COVID-19, aka, which has disrupted the activities of the world. You know, it has caused economic meltdown in nearly all the countries of the world. Now, majority of those who were found to contract that illness end up losing their lives as the healthcare system was overwhelmed, you know, and as the healthcare system also went in search for solution. Of course, the COVID-19 era brought to the fore the fact that there could be a disease that can get the world on her heels and make her to speak with one voice. Now, which has resulted, or which has led to the quick intervention as we have witnessed now in the post-COVID era. Now, if COVID-19 was identified as a pandemic that required urgent attention, then much more is the scourge of one of the most deadly diseases of our time, which is ignored by many, otherwise called substance use disorder. You can call it drug addiction, or you can equally call it substance dependence. Now, this illness, for COVID-19, I can tell you that majority of you listening to me might not have seen someone that has contracted that illness directly with your eyes or have known. But this particular one, if you don't have it right in your family, then check your neighborhood. You know, so in one way or the other, I can tell you that this particular illness that has been ignored by many is even worse than COVID-19. The issue here is that COVID-19, we tend to see it as a disease that kills immediately, but this one kills even far more than COVID because it kills the functionality of your mind that is responsible for the decision-making process, and many other things about your life. So if there is anything that you must give attention to, just like we did COVID-19, just like we did several other contagious diseases or dreaded medical conditions, the same we must attach to the issue of drug addiction, because it is a silent killer and it's killing even faster than we can imagine. Now let's talk about substance dependence. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, that's DSM, defines substance dependence as excessive drug use that may result in tolerance and withdrawal symptoms and inability to cut down. Now, I really not want to bug you with some big terms. I would love to just, because I believe some of us are just laymen, or some are, of course, we are professionals, but let me come down to the level where we all understand. You must have heard about substance dependence. You must have heard about substance use disorder. You must have heard about addiction. One way or the other, you must have heard about one of these things. So when we talk about this, we are directly talking about one's inability to cut down on drug use, even if he or she desires to stop. Even when she or he desires to stop, you will not be able to. Why? Because there are certain things that are happening within your system, your brain in particular. Now it has become a disorder, and that is why you are unable to stop. I used to tell people, if you are doing drugs and you said I will stop it, and you are able to stop it, then it has never been an addiction. Now we get to later understand there are protective factors and there are risk factors that can predispose you to develop this illness called addiction or substance use disorder. But of course, put it at the back of your mind that when I talk about substance use disorder, when I talk about substance dependence, when I mention addiction, I'm saying nearly the same thing, even though there are some peculiarity at all these at these stages, but you permit me to just use them interchangeably. But of course, one thing that characterizes all of this is the inability to stop, even in the face of consequences. Even when you see fire, you will now keep going into the fire, and it does not make sense to us that are not there. But to those that are in there, of course, you get to understand that there is something that is making them do that, so that even when they want to stop, they are unable to stop. Now, dependence on drug is a major medical, social, and economic problem for many countries worldwide, and especially Nigeria, because it has contributed to the death of so many. It has even killed so many more people than all the wars of the world combined. The issue here is there may not be data to show it, but there are several people that died, but we label them with other conditions. We don't call it addiction. We don't call it substance. He died as a result of using substance or drugs because of the stigma that I heard the uncle mentioned earlier. But several more people have died as a result of substance dependence or substance use, but we label them with other names. There is actually a research that has been conducted that shows that 8% of deaths worldwide is due to the use of alcohol or other illicit substances. Now you can imagine that about 9 people out of 100 people that die the world over, you can attribute 9% of them, 9 of them, due to use of drugs, one illicit substance or the other. Now, I would love to go straight to identify the major problem why we should be talking about drug dependence and treatment options. Now, I was trying to look for what to present, and it came straight to my mind on a particular research that was conducted by the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, UNODC, in 2018. The only major research that has been done in Nigeria concerning drug use and abuse in Nigeria. Now, I just picked, there is a summary, there are key summaries in the document, but I picked just 6 of this summary. There are so many others, but I picked 6, and I would love to read through as fast as possible. Now, key summary 1, in Nigeria, 1 in 7 persons aged between 15 to 64 years had used a drug other than tobacco and alcohol in the past year. Now, if we are saying 1 in 7 persons, we are excluding those that are using tobacco and alcohol. Even though tobacco and alcohol are one of the most deadly substances, but in this research, they excluded those categories of people and saying that 1 in 7 persons, which means that these people are using psychoactive substances like crack, marijuana, and so on and so forth, meth, and so on and so forth. Now, the past year prevalence of any drug use is estimated at 14.4%. That's corresponding to 14.3 million people who have used a psychoactive substance in the past year for non-medical purposes. Now, 14.3 million, when you do that, 14% in Nigerian population is nearly 14%, and that this findings is 2018. Now, this is about 6-7 years later now. So there's definitely an increase. Now, one says among every 4 drug users in Nigeria, 1 is a woman. Though it may be underreported, it may even be more than that, because as in the case of domestic violence, where you hardly find a man going to report that my wife is violating me, in the same way, the women hardly report cases of their drug use until you get to the severe stage. But I can tell you, based on my own practice and based on the work I've done, or people have come in contact with, that there seems to be even more drug users among women. But probably that's a call for us to research. Now, more men than women, according to this research, reported past year drug use in Nigeria. Now, the next one says the highest level of any past year drug use was among those between the ages of 25 to 39. That is a cause for alarm, because the most productive age for any nation is within this range, 25 to 39. Now, this is saying that the highest level of any past year drug use, that's as at 2023, which is past year, majority of people that use drug are within the age of 25 to 39 years. Now, 1 in 5 persons who have used drug in the past year is suffering from drug use disorder. Now, 5 people may end up using, experimenting. Now, there are different causes. Because of time, we may not discuss that, but different things will cause someone to use drugs. But now, some may be due to experimental curiosity, peer influence, environmental or economic situations. Let me just, medical conditions, oh, I cannot sleep, let me just try this and just sleep for today. Now, they may just use that, just thinking I'll use it just now and I'll not use it again. Now, out of these 5 people that will experiment with drug, 1 of them end up developing a drug use disorder, otherwise drug addiction. Now, cannabis is the most commonly used among all the drugs. The next one says that an estimated 373,000 people in Nigeria were estimated to be having high-risk drug use. That's, they are at risk. That's, they must have developed what I would otherwise call substance-induced mental illness. Over 376,000. The majority of high-risk drug users were regular users of opiates. Opiates, let me just simply call it painkiller. Now, this is the reports from the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime 2018. Now, let's come to 2021. The research or a report by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in 2021 said that 40% of Nigerian youth between 18 and 35 years are deeply involved in the abuse of drugs. Now, people or young people between the ages of 18 and 35, 40% of them, when you bring 100 young people between the age of 18 and 35, at random, pick them, you are likely to get 40 out of 100 that are using drugs or abusing substances. That is another cause for alarm. And that is 2021. We are in 2023, 24. Now, having established that there is an issue, having established or understood that drug is a menace that has come to destroy and to finish up. And it is not just an epidemic, but a pandemic, just like COVID, or even far worse than COVID. Let's proceed to talk about emotions. Now, emotions, I would really not want to give you some big definition. I believe so many of us all of this, when we continue to talk about them, these are actually the reward pathways that the drugs implicate. Now, we can just proceed straight ahead to talk about the connection between drug use and emotional intelligence. Now, what is emotional intelligence? We need to understand what emotional intelligence in the first place before we can proceed to connect emotional intelligence and substance dependency. Now, emotional intelligence, like I mentioned earlier, is actually you getting aware that you are an emotional being, one. Number two, and that your emotions can fall into two places, pleasant and unpleasant. Three, then you are able to understand that when these emotions are not properly identified, there will be difficulty in expressing the emotions. When you are unable to identify that, oh, this is a feel of anger, this is a feel of joy, this is a feel of fear, this is a feel of excitement, this is a feel of surprise. This, when you are unable to identify it, in another term we can call it emotional flat affect. That's actually a symptom that is, we can talk about. And make meaning of a feeling, there is actually a danger that lies ahead. It's actually an awareness of you being an emotional being expressed on the continuum of pleasantness or unpleasantness, and the fact that even the pleasant emotions can be negative, or even the unpleasant emotion can be negative, or even the unpleasant emotion can be positive, or even the unpleasant emotion can be negative. So in the long run, you have the awareness, you recognize and understand these emotions, and then you are using your awareness to manage yourself, and not just yourself. You will proceed to now also manage others, which in another way we can refer to as relationship management. Now, Aristotle has this to say. He said that anybody can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person and to go and to the right degree, at the right time, and for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. Now, let me repeat again. Aristotle says, anybody can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right easy, and that is emotional intelligence. None of us is born with it. You must learn to manage your emotions, and that is why we are doing this. But emotional intelligence is something that you learn. You are not born with it. Hello.